Peace and greetings. This is Brother Dawud, the present head of the 7139 Millennium Collective. For those of you who haven't followed the movement or the essence of what spiritual entity that I lead, for this particular tape, you would have to go towards some previous tapes or some previous literature in relation to the spiritual and mystical systems that are working on an underground basis or a semi-underground basis to destroy Western civilization and the Caucasian and everything that they have wrought on the planet Earth. Understanding this, we're not of the same realm or essence of the pseudo-political groups, sectarian religious concepts. We're of a much deeper and, in my own humble opinion, worthier vein, because we relate, or we have a direct lineage back to the Afrocentric mystery schools on the continent that taught how to keep and retain 360 degrees of knowledge that each and every black man and black woman had at a point in time on this planet before the advent of those beings, or the satanic or Luciferian beings known as the white man, came into being. Now, because the time is so short, we have so much to try to get you to be aware of, but now understanding for those that are viewing this tape that within the limitations of my voice, what I'm saying is not for the masses of any type of people. What I'm saying is only meant and only will be comprehended and understood by a small set, an elite minority that spiritually, whose hearts are tuned to the Godhead and have never left it. So we don't get into a thing of arguing or debating the true, holy, divine, and spiritual nature of what I'm presenting. That is for each individual that is worthy. Spiritually, the ancients said, many are called, but few are chosen. So these basically is what we have to get a deeper understanding into our heart of hearts, so that you don't waste your time viewing this, and I don't waste my time trying to make an appeal to the heathen, as we had to transform an aspect of what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad brought to the world. We say that within the 7139 Millennium Collective that there is no such thing as an 85% anymore. We say that there is a 99%. We say that everybody on the planet Earth right now are of the 99%. The same, the deaf, the dumb, the blind, the goyim, the Gentile, whatever you want to call them. And that there's only 1%, and that 1% that has a higher consciousness or have a higher knowledge of what's taking place, the apocalypse, that we're in the midst of Armageddon, that only 1% of all human beings understand that. If we go back to Revelations, which is Christian scripture, it speaks of she has deceived the nations of the world. It's talking about the beast. The beast has deceived the nations of the world, or all of humanity was caught up into the fact that the Caucasian was some kind of brother or sister being to the nations of humanity. I will say, without being redundant, we do totally and completely reject the Yakub theory. We believe and feel and have a certainty in knowing that the evil that's known as Caucasians and white people have nothing to do with the divinity of African, black people, or whatever you choose to call yourself at this particular time. So that means no chromosomes of mine produce that evil, because if I bear witness to that, then that means I have to bear witness to some aspect of the evil that the Caucasian or the devil has wrought for 6,000, and we give them 4 extra, from 10,000 to 6,000 years. We keep a fluidity in terms of understanding this knowledge because we're not dogmatists. So we don't say it's like this and it can't be like that. We'll run you down into the 2 basic dogmas that we always teach. What we mean by dogma, the only 2 things that we say you have to have a belief or understanding of, or everything else I say or put forth or postulate will be incomprehensible to you. Those 2 things are, number 1, that the sum, total, and origin of all evil on the planet Earth originated with those entities called white people, Caucasian, Green Mountain Dagos, crackers, peckerwood, dogs, rednecks, demons, whatever you want, jinns, whatever you want to call them. And number two is that Western civilization must be destroyed. Now, if nobody believes that, it's already being destroyed as we speak. And I will respectfully say that the last poets were incorrect when they said that the revolution will not be televised. I beg to differ and say that the revolution is being televised every day for those few that still watch the news. What do we mean? We're saying that you can see the collapse of the putrid feces of Western civilization all around you just by watching the news. Now, yes, we say that it's true that it's corporate, sponsored, censored news, but the holy divine architect of the universe controls everything and everything that goes on in the universe. So that means at least 10% of what you see on the news is true. Now, if 10% of what you see on the news is true, then that means there's a 90% of the same phenomena or nature of the destruction of Western civilization that's taking place that you don't even see. And that's something that you can meditate on, and you can get a knowledge of that if you develop your spiritual and psychic senses. Now, as we said before, those that don't bear witness to that, those that ain't into that, those that, well, brother, I'm into the intellect. I only deal with what I can see. Well, fine. Well, then that means get your money back, don't look at this tape, and take your ass down to one of them other charlatans that's talking that Eurocentric bullshit. But the point is, for those that are still here, that still are following me, the end of the Caucasian's world, the end of the space-time continuum of our natural existence that the devil disrupted is now about to come back into alignment. So the earth itself, or what you might call, whether it be the Caucasian New Age philosophies or movements, which are all, being Caucasian, they're contaminated, or they're giving you a half-truth because they want to tell you how the new world or the new age is going to take place. Just as sure as white supremacist Christianity is going to tell you how Armageddon is going to take place. If you really want to have a deeper or total understanding, you have to go through the true tradition of those that have a higher spiritual understanding of these things. So I'm saying, I humbly am coming in the tradition of Marie Laveau of New Orleans, the tradition of Father Divine, Marcus Garvey, Daddy Grace. Now, for those, some people may have not agreed with what Father Divine brought, but he had certain occult powers. That's what I'm talking about. I disagree with the fact that he married a white woman, obviously. We don't play that, we don't teach that, and we don't compromise that. We're saying that anything or anybody that aligns themselves with Caucasians in their meetings, tries to ally themselves in relation to saying that Caucasians are all right, that we can have some kind of dialogue with them, that I'm saying is in complete and total error. So that's why if you look today, if someone asks, because I came out of so-called Sunni Orthodox Islam, you get some of the charlatans that are coming in the name of Orthodox Islam or the Islam that originated from the noble Drew Ali Moore Science Temple and came forth from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The biggest name would be Minister or the Right Reverend Minister Louis Farrakhan. And the reason why at this point, you have to make mockery of this clown. You have to even call for his death as a traitor. We're saying the man's a traitor because as of recent, he played the fiddle at a concert playing Mendelssohn, just like Nero was fiddling when Rome was burning. At a concert to say that he wanted to bring peace and understanding between imposter Caucasian Jews, who if you go into Revelation, will tell you that those that call themselves Jews and